Good afternoon. Will everyone who is able please stand for the processional?
Mr. President.
Mr. Marshall.
Graduates and guests, please remain standing as the Doane Concert Band performs our national anthem. Gentlemen, we ask that you please remove your caps.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 Doane University Winter Commencement Celebration. Please be seated. I am Dr. Susan Larkin, Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is an honor to share this moment with our graduates, their families and friends, and the faculty and staff who have supported their work leading up to today. At this time, I'd like to ask Catherine Archie to come to the stage. Kat earned her Master of Arts in Management with an emphasis in leadership from Doane in 2014, and she currently serves as director of our Doane Lincoln campus. Today, she will receive her Doctor of Education with an emphasis in community and culture. She has also been invited to offer a brief prayer and share a reflection on her time at Doane.
All right. Good afternoon. Faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates. Before anything else, I'd like to give honor to God, my daughters, my mother, and my village. Without them, I would not be standing here today. I now ask that all who are able to please stand for a moment of prayer and reflection. Let us lift our hearts in gratitude for the journeys that brought each of us to this moment, for every lived experience that shaped us, for every trial that strengthened us, and for every opportunity that reminded us that purpose unfolds in its own divine timing. We honor our families, our loved ones, and our villages, those who prayed for us, challenged us, encouraged us, and carried us when we grew weary. Their sacrifices and support are woven into this very moment, and their faith in us echoes what it means to be part of the Doane community. Inclusion that welcomes every story, integrity that calls to walk in truth, innovation that inspires us to imagine beyond limits, and transformation that reminds us learning is a lifelong awakening. As we stand at this threshold of what comes next, I offer a prayer for each graduate, for health that fuels your journey, for success rooted in purpose, and for boldness to leave a powerful imprint as we each continue down our own unique path. Amen. Please be seated. There is a question that has shaped my journey and brought me to this moment. That question is, what is pressure to one who stays in motion? I was born to teen parents and raised in a lower socioeconomic urban community where educational access was limited. From birth, society labeled me a high-risk student because of race, class, and family structure. In 1996, my family briefly experienced homelessness. And I learned early how instability and invisibility can shape a child's understanding of the world. Yet even within chaos, structure found me. I was advanced in grade level in coursework, often the only Black girl in gifted spaces, learning very quickly that brilliance does not guarantee belonging. Still, I kept moving, completing high school, college, graduate school, and now today my doctorate. I transferred to Doane University's doctoral program during the summer of 2020, a year the world stood still. My pops was battling COVID-19, and I was balancing hope with heartbreak when he passed that July. In January of 2021, I began my studies, still grieving, still hurting, but determined to keep the promise that my 7-year-old self made to my grandfather, which was that one day I would become a doctor. Didn't know what type, but it was a promise. Every month, I drove from Kansas City, Missouri to Omaha before sunrise, chasing both my degree and my peace, During that time, I became pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy and developed preeclampsia. My body became a battleground of fear and faith, and even years later, more hospital stays and medical scares continued to test my endurance. But life did not let up. My family and I moved to Lincoln in 2023 to help care for my grandfather, not knowing that my grandmother would soon have a stroke. Between July 2023 and April of 2024, I would say goodbye to my cousin, my grandfather, and my grandmother. No handbook prepares you for the storm like that. But what I learned is that storms reveal what is rooted. Each tragedy became part of my testimony. Things that could have broken me became fuel. Some days, empowerment looked like submitting a draft. Other days, empowered looked like remembering to breathe. And just when it felt like I could take no more, July 2024 came with its own trials. Yet still, I kept believing, I kept becoming, and I kept moving. Graduates, I know I'm not the only one in this room who has experienced pressure this afternoon. Many of us earned this degree while balancing families, careers, grief, illness, caregiving, doubts, and responsibilities that we didn't even speak about. Throughout our journeys, we learned that empowerment isn't the absence of struggle. It is the choice to rise within it. It is defending your dissertation through heartbreak. It is writing through tears and showing up through pain. It is the quiet decision to continue. This journey has been my reminder that motion can coexist with loss and purpose can exist alongside pain. Empowerment isn't given, it's cultivated through persistence, through prayer, and through the refusal to surrender. To my fellow graduates, future scholars, educators, and dreamers, your stories matter, your struggle matters, keep moving. The odds may test you, but they do not define you. So again, I ask, what is pressure to one who stays in motion? Today, graduates, we answer together, nothing at all, because we are the very definition of defeating the odds. The world tried pressure, we chose motion, and we will continue to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat, and congratulations. I would now like to introduce you to the 13th president of Doane University, Dr. Roger Hughes.
Thank you, Sue. Good afternoon, everyone. Please join me in extending a big thank you to the Doane Concert Band and Dr. Andrew Faze for providing the music today. Thanks also to soon-to-be Dr. Catherine Archie for her prayer and sharing a reflection. Thanks so much for the grounds crew, the facilities, and custodial staff for helping get all this venue ready for today's event. And all the staff, volunteers who are helping out, again, thank you to you as well. Will all the veterans, as well as active members of all branches of the U.S. military, please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service, for your sacrifices, for protecting us and defending our rights. And welcome everyone to the 2025 Winter Commencement of Doane University. We gather here on our Crete campus to celebrate this monumental achievement, one that will change the trajectory of yours and your family's lives. Through your hard work, perseverance, intellectual accomplishments, you have earned your doctorate, specialist, master's, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science degrees. We hope your Doane experience has exceeded your expectations. Your very presence here as a graduate speaks to your self-sacrifice, your work ethic, intellectual acuity, and the fact that you learned that success cannot be achieved without failure, and that greatness cannot be achieved if you're satisfied. You learned this because at Doane, we build leaders. No leader is successful by themselves, though. Every successful leader has had a team behind them who supported them, nurtured them, kicked them in the seat of the pants to get them going when they needed motivation, or picked them up, gave them hugs, and gave them encouragement to continue on. To those who provided that support to one of today's graduates, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your investment in a very special person. We are all honored to have all of you here at the celebration today. And now I'll briefly introduce our speaker. I'm excited to have a familiar face back on the dais. We got to know each other when I first became president, and he was always pulling me into his office and giving me little snippets of advice. For a first-time president, and frankly one that hadn't been on the academic side, he was always there to help me. Dr. Doug D. Christensen served as a professor of practice in educational leadership at Doane for 13 years. He officially retired in 2022 as a director of Education Specialist Program. During this time, he created and implemented a leadership development program for the preparation and certification of leaders at district levels of school systems, primarily school superintendents. Before he came to Doane, Dr. Christensen served 14 years as the Nebraska Commissioner of Education after joining the Department of Education as an associate and then later a deputy commissioner. Before being appointed commissioner, he served as superintendent of schools in 3 districts, in addition to carrying roles of principal, teacher, and coach. Dr. Christensen was recognized for his leaderships as the Superintendent of the Year in Kansas, the Superintendent of the Year for Nebraska, and as the Public Official of the Year by Governing Magazine. In addition, he has received awards from the Nebraska State Teachers Association, the National Education Association, Nebraska Council of High School Administrators, the National Council of Teachers of English, the Coalition of Essential Schools, and the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation. Dr. Christian remains active, serving his 12th year on the board of directors of Phi Delta Kappa, including serving as president, chair of the board of directors, and chairman of the board of governors of the foundation. He is also in his 12th year on the board of directors of the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and is currently serving as president of that board. Dr. Christensen has been a servant leader in education for 57 years, and his education leadership has spanned 7 decades. After listening and reading all these accolades and hearing all the accomplishments, one can only come to one conclusion: you must be really old. Please help me welcome Doug Christensen to the podium as
Thank you, President Hughes. I appreciate that. That was just the way my mother wrote it. It was a lot longer when I gave it to you, but I gave you the mother-in-law version. If I'd given you the mother-in-law version, it'd have been 2 sentences and 3 words each. Anyway, I appreciate the kind words and the introduction. I appreciate the opportunity to speak here today and make it possible for me to give back to a university that has given me so much. Thanks to all of you who came here today to hear me speak. That's more than I got last time. So anyway, that's my best joke, and I think we better just get on with it. I'm going to talk about 3 things today: tumbling stones, the future, and making mistakes. Okay? Tumbling stones, the future, making mistakes. Topic 1, tumbling stones. Imagine with me for a minute you go out here in the country someplace on a gravel road and you start picking up stones, ordinary ones, nothing special. You take them into your garage, put them inside a tin can, add water and grit powder to it, attach it to a tumbler, and turn it on. And they come back the next day and you dump the tumbler out on a table, and what was once some very ugly, not so distinguished rocks have turned into polished and smooth stones. They got that way by tumbling against the other rocks. Yesterday they were ordinary, today and now they're beautiful. The message in here for us is that we need to tumble with other rocks in order to reveal who we really are. Margaret Wheatley, an American writer, said that with the world in such a mess, so topsy-turvy, we have to prepare our relationships to sustain us. Her message is, we need each other. We need each other. We need other rocks in our lives. We need other rocks in our tumblers. They polish our surfaces, take off our jagged edges. The tumbling and polishing reveals what's beneath the surface and what lies inside. Graduates, all of you, will leave today with a new diploma in your hands, and that diploma is proof that you did some tumbling on your own. Passed courses, didn't quit, kept going to classes even though it seemed futile and never-ending. Is that important? It is important. In fact, it's very important. It may be as important as your degree. As important as your degree is, employers are going to care as much about some of the things that you have demonstrated, in fact, maybe more, like dispositions of honesty, integrity, persistence, character, and resilience. And you add those and a degree in a subject field with a certified level of expertise, you will become an elite member of society. Did you know that? Here it is. 350 million people in the United States today. 34% have bachelor's degrees. 13% have master's degrees. 3.4% have professional degrees like education specialists. 2% have doctorates. You're elite. What a powerful combination of degree, expertise, experience, and now being an elite member of society. That was number one, tumbling stones. Topic number two, the future. Do you know that no matter what you do, the next 5 years will go by anyway? I'm sure you're glad to have heard that. You may want to write it down. 5 years from today, December 2nd, 2030, what is it you want to be able to say about who you are and what it is that you're doing? It will matter who you are. It will matter what you're doing. It will matter how you spend the next 5 years, because there's no more to the future than the present. The present will define what your future will be. In other words, today matters and will determine tomorrow. You have options. You can do nothing, sit on your hands, like you are now. That wasn't in my notes, I just added that. Sit on your hands and let the time pass, because 2030 is going to come no matter what it is any of you do. Or you can do better than letting your time pass. You can do any number of things. Use your preparation, your degree, your dispositions as launch pads to new roles, new positions, new status in your organization or community. What you do today is important because it's the beginning of a new installment plan to purchase your future. It is a down payment on tomorrow, and if you want tomorrow to be different, you have to make today different. You have to invest in today. There's just no other way, and I'm telling you from all the years of experience that Dr. Hughes mentioned, there's no other way. That was topic number two. Topic number three, mistakes. What if you make mistakes? You will. It's inevitable. Let me tell you about making mistakes using a monumental mistake that I made as an example. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a minister. I had a deep admiration for the minister in my hometown. I was in absolute awe of his dedication, integrity, service, and compassion. I wanted that for my life too. I helped in the church in every way I was allowed, passed offering plates, read scriptures, helped with Sunday school and youth leagues. After my senior year in high school, I enrolled in Midland College as a pre-seminary student. When I finished my degree, I entered the seminary, and I was asked in October to officiate a funeral for a pastor in Hooper, Nebraska, who was out of the country. I walked out from behind the altar, to a standing room only congregation, absolutely wall-to-wall people, including down the center aisle. It was a funeral for a 94-year-old matriarch of the church who had been active in both the church and the community until the day before she died. It was for sure a solemn occasion, but at the same time, celebration of a life well lived. Facing the congregation in my clerical robes and the casket right in front of me, an awful feeling washed over me. What in the hell are you doing? What are you doing? The relentless voice in my head said, huge mistake. You can't be serious about this. This is not who you are. I was really in a low place after that because I'd never experienced not knowing what I was supposed to do with my life. I guess I hadn't come to grips with what ministers actually did besides giving sermons and leading prayers, like bury the dead, visit the shut-ins, calling on the sick and infirm in hospitals and nursing homes. What was I thinking? That's what a lot of ministers do. In fact, that's a lot of what they do, especially in small town and rural Nebraska. Clearly, this is not me. This is not who I am. I must have walked around seminary in a daze because friends and professors who noticed would ask me, what's wrong? I'd tell them my story, and they would ask, well, what are you going to do now? Do you ever thought about being a teacher? Are you serious? I would never be a teacher. Not in the last day of my life would I ever become a teacher. I was certainly not in the mood for their advice, or anyone else's for that matter, and I was not in the mood for tumbling around with some of the stones in the seminary. That didn't quite come out the way I wanted to do it, too. I'll cross that out and not do it the next time. I was jealous of those who knew where they were going. I was embarrassed. I was angry. The voice kept persisting. Why don't you become a teacher? Here I was, a degree from a church college, with a major in German languages, of all things, but a teacher? Education hours? 0. Certificate? 0. Interest? Less than 0. How could I ever be a teacher? After a week of tumbling, like the rocks in the tumbler, I was wearing down. My sharp and anti-teacher edges were starting to wear down, and I did what any person would do. I rationalized. That was supposed to be funny. I'll pause from time to time, and that means I just told a joke, and it'd be nice if you would chuckle a little bit. Anyway, I rationalized I could teach for a year and then get on and do something else. I had no idea what that something else was, but that sounded like a reasonable plan to me, so I gave in. I had to have some kind of a job. My father said he would not help in any way, and he was beyond angry. No help, no money, not one, and this is a quote, damn dime. 0 financial support. I had to have a job. I had to have an income. I returned to Midland College, and I worked part-time jobs, finishing another degree with majors in biology and education. A year and a half later, I found myself in Holdridge, Nebraska, teaching sophomores biology. I kept telling myself, I can do this, don't want to, hate it, can do this, and then I can get on with my life after I finish the year of the contract that I signed. Standing in my classroom at the end of that first day, I was absolutely exhausted, longest day I'd ever spent. 5 classes of sophomores will do that to anybody. A student dropped in at the end of the day and said, Mr. C, I have a question. Mr. C, what the? Was he being friendly or too friendly? Each night, students would gather in my room, some with questions, some just to talk, some in need of a place to be out of the halls. On Friday night, my wife, also a teacher, but a committed teacher, and I went out to dinner to celebrate surviving our first week as teachers. Just as the waitress came to take our order, a voice behind me said, Mr. C, I'd like you to meet my parents. I stood up, turned around. Kevin said, Mom and Dad, this is Mr. C. His mom said, so glad to meet you, Mr. C. Now we can put a face to the person that Kevin comes home every night raving about. I sat down and my wife said, Mr. C, what's up with that? She'd never heard me referred to that before. Referred to by other things, but not that. She asked if I liked it. I said, you know, I do. How does it make you feel? Good, I think it means they like me. Okay, Mr. C, have you made up your mind about teaching then? I have. What have you decided? I can do this. My wife said, really? After a year and a half of listening to me lament my life and arguing about my career choices, I said, yes, I can, I want to, I have to. Let me finish with how my future actually unfolded. Of all the experiences I had in my teens, college and seminary, and all the stones I had tumbled with, it had an impact on me. Through the mistakes in those experiences, I learned 3 things about me and my future. 1, had I not started out to pursue the ministry, I would never have made the down payment on a life of serving others. 2, had I never made the down payment on serving others, I would never have found teaching. 3, had I never found teaching, I would not be standing here today in my future here with you. Graduates, as you leave this place, your diploma's in your hands, remember 2030 is going to come no matter what it is that you can do. To make 2030 be all it can be, you have to do a couple of things. 1, make learning a lifetime commitment. 2, come back to Doane and finish that next degree. That's important. I get a commission for every one of you that do that. And for sure, come back to Doane and share your story of how your life has been going. You are Doane University prepared, and I think that's about as good as it gets. What are you prepared for? Well, it's more than just the subject matter that you take and that expertise. It's the capacity to use that and your experiences and dispositions to serve others. If you want a full life, serve others every time, anywhere you get a chance. Remember as we begin, tumbling stones are important, and they are meant to tumble. We need them to tumble. Our future is on its way. It will not wait. Don't fear the mistakes. They reveal who you are. Best wishes and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Christensen, for your wisdom and for your humor. Will all the candidates who are to receive the Doctorate of Education degree please stand? Dr. Hughes, on behalf of the faculty, I certify that the candidates who are present have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their Doctorate of Education degree today.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Nebraska, I confer upon you the degree of Doctorate of Education, together with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
I would now like to introduce Dr. Timothy Fry, Dean of the College of Education.
Good afternoon. I am honored to help present our graduates for the Doctorate of Education degree. I will read the names as Dr. Kate Somerville, Dr. Deborah Miller, and Dr. Julie Kozacek Hood our doctoral graduates. Catherine Marie, wait for her. You ready? Okay, here we go. Ready? Catherine Marie Archie. Her dissertation entitled, When the Odds Have Been Defeated, Examining Influential Experiences of Unhoused Youth in Alternative Education Programs. Her dedication reads, I dedicate my work to breaking generational cycles. What is pressure to those who stay in motion? Nothing at all, because I am the very definition of defeating the odds. When the world tried pressure, I chose motion and will continue to move forward. Sarah Knuth Baker. Her dissertation entitled Music Educator Perceptions of Cycles of Enactment, centered on core teaching practices, an induction program case. Her dedication reads, to teachers, the everyday magicians who weave relationships betwixt crafted lessons in lifelong learning in service to equity for our students. Carol Ann Flora. Dissertation entitled A Case Study of One Midwestern School District's Interlocal Cooperative Agreement and Impacts on After-School Programming Within a High School Setting. Her dedication reads, many helped me through the climbs and descents. I want to thank my parents, my family, colleagues, and friends, especially my mom and dad, who always shared the best stories with me, especially while we sat in the garden and reminisced. Jason Harris. His dissertation entitled Young Adults with Disabilities and Preparation for Post-Graduation Success, a Qualitative Study. His dedication reads, this dissertation is dedicated to those who believed in me even when I struggled to believe in myself. To the young adults with disabilities, this work is especially for you. May it serve as a small reminder that your voices matter, your dreams are valid, and your potential is limitless. Kylie Luxinger. dissertation entitled Acting Through Conflict, Exploring the Role of Forum Theater in New Teachers' Identification Formation in a Suburban Nebraska School District. Her dedication reads, I am beyond blessed to have been surrounded by so much love and support on this journey. My husband, John, my boys, family, friends, colleagues, professors, participants, and cohort have each carried me in different ways. I am forever grateful. Jason Mundorf, dissertation entitled Battles in the Boardroom, a qualitative study on the perceived impact of politics for Midwestern states' school board members. Dedication reads, I dedicate this dissertation to my family who has supported me throughout my career and life in both good times and bad times. Thank you for believing in me and pushing me every step of the way. A special dedication also goes to my colleagues and mentors who have shaped me as a professional and educator. I would not be here without you. Jim Whittefield, dissertation entitled Legislating Education, Understanding How Nebraska Superintendents Perceive the Effect of New State Legislated Requirements on School Districts. His dedication reads, to my family, this journey has been more about you than me. You are the reason my goals and aspirations have come true. This paper shows that you can overcome challenges. A weakness is a strength that just needs a little encouragement. Congratulations again to all of our doctoral graduates.
Will all the candidates who are to receive graduate degrees please rise and remain standing? Dr. Hughes, on behalf of the faculty, I certify that the candidates who are present have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective graduate degree today.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Nebraska, I confer upon you the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, Master of Education in School Counseling, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Science in Instructional Design and Technology, together with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Will those candidates earning an Education Specialist degree remain standing? All others, please be seated. Please welcome Dr. Mitch Kubacek, Adjunct Professor, to the stage.
Thank you, Sue. Good afternoon. We will now recognize those individuals receiving the Education Specialist degree. I will read the names as Dr. Melissa Polonczyk, Adjunct Professor, does the hooding. Andrew Tyler Adams. Ryan John Brochar. Teresa Lynn Cassart. Anthony William Clark Kazmarek, in absentia. Zachary James Dulesky Taylor. Lindsay J. Douglas. Scott Michael Hilger, in absentia. Caitlin Faye Jensen. Dylan Coulter Kendall. Michael R. Sortino, in absentia. Joseph Tierney Wanning. Please help me congratulate our education specialist graduates. Next on our program is Dr. Deborah Studo, Director of the Masters of Education in Curriculum and Instruction Program.
We will now begin the Masters of Education in Curriculum and Instruction degree. I will read the names, and Dr. Carrie Rath, Associate Professor of Practice, does the hooding. Erica Marie Akamo. Joseph Michael Ahms, in absentia. Grace Bloom, in absentia. Angela Marie Bosquet. Julie Brandt. Brian R. Briggs, in absentia. Katie Brunke. Michaela Emily Burnett. Alyssa May Catt. Kathleen Louise Danner. Thomas Henry Dukes. Carson Ray Ebeling. Aye. Brian M. Evans. Megan Fisher, in absentia. Sarah Marie Granger. Scott Hakel, in absentia. Ryan Michael Jensen. Noelle Elizabeth Kleint. Jennifer Knutson, in absentia. Brittany Nicole Kraft. Brittany Lene Miller. Chantel Lynn Millison in absentia. Jacqueline Ortega Garcia. Purity Anyango Ortiz. Creighton William Pierce in absentia. Charles Wesley Pratt. Brianna Zay Rose. Kennedy Simpson. Paris to Brink. Elizabeth Teeley. Alyssa Tonages. Megan E. Valgora. Congratulations to our Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction. Next on our program is Rachel Catlett, Director of Master of Education in School Counseling Program.
We will now begin the Master of Education in School Counseling degree. I will read the names while Dr. Carrie Rath, Associate Professor of Practice, does the hooding. Emily Christine Bortle. Jens Nelson Lehman. Grace Adair Rath. Congratulations to our Master of Education in School Counseling graduates. I would now like to introduce Dr. Andrea McGrath, Assistant Professor of Master of Arts in Counseling Program.
We will now begin the Master of Arts in Counseling degree. I will read the names, and Dr. Arden Sheppy, Associate Professor of Master of Arts in Counseling Program, will do the hooding. Patrick Maurice Grayson. Chelsea Brooke Cohen. Rachel Marilyn Carell. Gwendolyn Lopez. Heather L. McNally. Brandon C. McWilliams. Laura Janine Moravec. Ryan Thomas Repstonic. Eliane Tamayo Piotto. Congratulations, Master of Arts in Counseling graduates. I would now like to introduce Dr. Daniel Bothy, Dean of the College of Business.
We will now begin the Master of Arts in Leadership degree. I will read the names as Dr. Jared Cook, Director of Professional Business Programs, does the hooding. Lamika Michelle Collier. Tahis Vieira. Melissa Gross. James Kenyatu. Charla Mad in absentia. Camille Rasul. Hiba Shaheen. Bo Vanis in absentia. Melissa Wortman. Congratulations, Master of Arts and Leadership graduates. We will now begin the Master of Business Administration degree. I will read the names as Dr. Cook does the hooding. Hiam Al-Nakash. Kimberly Sue Barrett. Brandon Gross. Jaden Marie Hilkeman. Luke Douglas LaChance in absentia. Tyrena Webster. Tristan Anthony Sampila in absentia. Congratulations, Master of Business Administration graduates. now begin the Master of Science in Instructional Design and Technology degree. I will read the names as Dr. Terry Deems, Director of the Master of Instructional Design and Technology program, does the hooding. Christina Rivera, in absentia. Kaylee D. Swartz. Congratulations to the Master of Science in Instructional Design Technology graduates.
Will all candidates who are to receive their baccalaureate degree please rise and remain standing? Dr. Hughes, on behalf of the faculty, I certify that the candidates who are present have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their baccalaureate degree.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Nebraska, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees, together with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. As a sign of being awarded this degree, please transfer your tassel to the left side.
Graduates, you may be seated until your row is called. Jeremiah Johnson Arndt. Sebastian Bencher. Luke Allen Boniface. Elijah A. Calloway. Kelsey Marie Dramsey. Vincent Urek. Nicole M. Goddard. Zinadine Gessiwer. Philip Paul Guthrie. Ashton Paul Yoakum. Rowan Joy Jolkowski. Marissa Yvette Marquez. Gerald Brandon Nix. Aaron Matthew Reyes. Nelson Ruto. Agdali Guadalupe Sanchez Castro. Riley Brianne Schmidt, cum laude. Grace Sheridan Southern. Tyler Stevens, cum laude. Ryan Richard Stratman. Caden Milton Timms. Brianna Jo Vesley. Devin Eric Wanamaker and absentia. Jason Wilson. Reese Matthew Zudavern, cum laude. Please join me again in congratulating all of our 2025 graduates. President Hughes.
Again, my congratulations to the graduates and to the families and friends that supported them while they were pursuing their degrees. Very well done. I know everyone's anxious for the celebration to begin, but it's also the president's job to give just a little bit of advice before we send you on your way. With your Doane degree, you are now part of a 153-year history and are joining a group of distinguished Doane alumni all over the world. As I said in my welcome, at Doane, we build leaders, which means, as a graduate, you are built to lead. As you engage your fellow Doane alumni, you now know that they are also built to lead. So here are 5 things I ask everyone to think about as you walk out your door to go to work, as you lay on your pillow at night. 5 things to never forget as you go forward. Number 1, faith. Faith in your God, faith in yourself, faith in your calling, faith in your team. Keep the faith because you are built to lead. Number 2, don't believe the hype. You're not as good when you win, nor as bad when you lose as people in the world will tell you. You will constantly be bombarded by this white noise. Block it out. Focus on what really matters. Keep the most important thing the most important thing. Keep your humility because you are built to lead. Number 3, make things better. Wherever you go, whatever you do, leave it better than you found it. Every person you come in contact with, make them better. Too many people want to gripe about what's wrong, but won't do anything about it. When you see something wrong, roll up your sleeves and do something about it. Fix it. Don't be passive, because you are built to lead. Number 4, hard work and perseverance trump talent every time. Let me say that again. Hard work and perseverance trump talent every time. That's pretty self-explanatory. You have both a great work ethic and perseverance because you are built to lead. And lastly, the strong take from the weak, but the smart take from the strong. The strong take from the weak, but the smart take from the strong. This was a quote from my good friend and colleague, the late Pete Carrill, basketball coach at Princeton University. I think if Coach Carrill were here today, he would say to you, you are Tigers. We have built you to lead. You are smart and you're strong. You will continue perfecting your skills and your attributes to succeed. The world you are preparing for will have bumps in the road. You can choose to see them as obstacles or opportunities. Don't waste 1 second thinking you're not up to the task. I say again, you are Doane graduates. And at Doane, we change the world one graduate at a time. I don't know why I get so emotional about it, but I do. And everyone's going to be joking about the over-under on when I tear up. Again, congratulations, graduates. Thank you to all families and friends. Merrill will ring. Go Tigers.
Will Brian Alvarado, Doane class of 2027 from Columbus, Nebraska, please come forward? While I have Brian here, we're going to go off script for a minute because I want to recognize a recent accomplishment. Brian was recently awarded a Gilman Scholarship. This is a very prestigious federal scholarship that supports undergraduate study abroad, and Brian's going to use this to study in Spain this summer. So please join me in congratulating Brian. Graduates and guests, please stand as Brian leads us in singing the Doane hymn.
A hymn of praise we lift to thee, O God, whom we revere. For Doane, thy holy gift to us, our alma mater dear. Her walls are fitting monuments to those who reared them there, and strong lives nurtured in her halls bespeak their answered prayer. We build on Christ this motto blessed, engraved on Merrill stone, is written too in every heart that loyal beats for Doane. Keep our sole vision then, O Christ, for eye undimmed and free, that we may honor God and Doane by building still on thee.
Please be seated. I would now like to introduce another Brian Evans, who just walked the stage to receive his Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction degree. Brian is from Stromsburg, Nebraska, and he will be sharing our closing reflection.
Thank you, Dr. Larkin. And in an amusing coincidence, I am also from Columbus. So, although my home is currently in Stromsburg, Nebraska, I grew up in Columbus. Good afternoon, everyone. As soon as I completed my registration for my first class at Doane, I said to myself, "What are you thinking? You are too old to do this. You don't even know how to go to school anymore." Then I started mentioning to friends and coworkers that I had enrolled at Doane. "Oh my gosh, you'll love it. I went to Doane. You'll have a great time. I'm so excited for you. It's a lot of work, but so worth it." Still, the start of my first class at Doane was a quiet, nervous, timid beginning. We made simple greetings to one another. "What do you teach?" "Hi, I'm Brian. I'm from Stromsburg." "Yeah, nobody else has heard of it either." By the end of that day, we were laughing, working together, doing research, finding ways to challenge each other's ways of thinking, and reflecting. Every day, reflecting. In her book, Friendship is a Special Place, author Susan Squalotti Florence wrote, "We have separate journeys and cross different bridges with each other's help and with the wonderful feeling that we are not alone." Doane is a special place. While we were all in class working on our separate journeys, we were also working together to make each other better. It was such a comfort to have my instructors and classmates helping me along the way, helping me feel that I was not alone. And I remain grateful to this day for their kindness, support, and excellence. I'm sure these sentiments are felt by many of us in the room, just as they have been felt by many graduates here before us. We also found that help and support outside of school from our friends and family. I'm especially thankful for my husband, Clay, who offered strong cups of coffee, hearty meals, countless moments of proofreading, and always his kind, gentle support. Thank you, my dearest friend and husband. On that first day of class, I had no idea how much Doane would lead me to love being back in school. Even when my classes moved online, we found ways to build relationships, to build friendships, to build a community. Our instructors were there for us, guiding us and inspiring us, but always challenging us to do more, to learn more, to dig deeper, to be vulnerable and to be creative, to connect what we are doing now to what we will be doing in the future, and to be reflective. Historian, biographer, and Pulitzer Prize winner Arthur Schlesinger Jr. said, "Excellence is the eternal quest. We achieve it by living up to our highest intellectual standards and our finest moral intuitions. In seeking excellence, take life seriously, but never yourself." My sincere thanks to Doane President, Dr. Roger Hughes, and to the Doane University Events Committee for giving me the opportunity to speak today. If you are able, I ask my fellow graduates and all of our family and friends celebrating with us today to please stand. We honor the diverse religious faiths and identities in our Doane community, and in closing, I invite each of us to add our own prayer or reflection. In my Christian faith, I will share a prayer for myself and for all of us celebrating here today. Dear God, may the grace and mercy you have given to us so generously be gifts that we share freely with others. Please fill our hearts with kindness and humility so that we may move forward as humble servant leaders. And I pray, let our continuing pursuit of knowledge and wisdom inspire those around us to also be lifelong learners. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated until all of the graduates have exited. Marshals, please prepare for the recessional.
Mr. Marshall.
Mr. President.
Family and friends, thank you for attending the 2025 Doane University Winter Commencement Ceremony. Please join us in congratulating our graduates. You are now dismissed.